Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Kylie and I'm very excited to have you here. Today's video is a Q&A, just questions that people sent in, literally about anything from my Instagram. And then I'm just going to answer some of these questions. Just kind of a fun, get to know me a little better video, or catch up about life video, or just little advice with things that people wanted advice on. I've got a lot of good questions that were sent in. Thank you to everyone who sent in questions. You guys are the best. I love and appreciate the support so much. And with that, we'll jump in and answer a bunch of questions. My first question was, what has surprised you about pregnancy? I am currently 21 weeks pregnant, and so I would say the most surprising thing to me is feeling my baby moving around inside of me. That is such a weird feeling, or like something I've never really experienced before. And I've heard other women say that to them it's like they've got like gas bubbles or something. But for me, I really have not felt this feeling before in my entire life. It's a very different feeling that is just so unique compared to any other feeling I've ever felt. It genuinely feels like there is a small child kicking around and moving around inside of me. It really does feel like there's someone in there moving around, and like, it's really cool. You can see it, you can feel it. So it really does feel like what it is. And it's so crazy to think about. But that's definitely the most surprising thing for me, is just how that feels. I mean, I feel like I didn't really know how it would feel to feel her kicking me and moving around inside of me. But it's definitely feels just how it is. And it's really surprising to me. The next question is, what do you miss most from high school, and what's your advice for graduating seniors? In high school, I did choir and I did musicals, and I was really just involved in the singing music program, and I really miss that. I miss performing, I would say, because out of high school, I didn't go into music in college, and so I just honestly haven't gotten involved in it, and so I just don't really do anything with singing anymore. And so that's the biggest thing I miss from high school, is I miss getting to be a part of the musicals and a part of the choir performances and the shows that I would do in high school. That's the biggest thing I miss from it. And then the second half of this person's question was advice for graduating seniors. My advice for graduating seniors, and honestly anyone still in high school, is to just really enjoy the moment. If you're a graduating senior, you've only got like a couple months left of school, and really what I would say is to just enjoy the moment that you're in. Enjoy the time with your friends, enjoy the groups you're involved in, and whatever you're involved in with high school that you won't get to do after high school, or that you might not get to do after high school, just really enjoy it. Soak up that time, especially that time with your friends. It's really just a fun time to enjoy, and you don't go back to high school, and so you should just enjoy it while you're there. And then when it's done, it's done. And then you can enjoy the next phase of life. But just enjoy this phase of life that you're in. The next question is, what's your favorite part about your religion? Well, first off, I'm a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and in my religion, I believe 100% for this religion to be true, and all of the beliefs and everything within the gospel to be true. The thing I love most about what's specific about the gospel that my religion really took hold of, really understands and knows and does, because God has really given the guidance for it and given us the knowledge for it, is the ability to be sealed to our families for eternity. So through marriage and through families, we are able to take the opportunity to participate in an ordinance, is what we call it, a sealing ordinance, where we bind ourselves together for eternity. So we're together beyond this life, but we believe in so much more than this life, right? That this life is such a small part of God's plan for us all. And so within our religion, we really do work towards an eternal perspective. And the most beautiful thing about it to me is that I'm sealed to my husband, I'm sealed to our daughter and our future children, and I'm sealed to my parents and siblings and all of the generations before them for eternity. And we're bound together. We're family forever. We don't leave each other when we leave this earth, but we get to be together again after this life, in the next life. And that's just the most beautiful thing to me. But I did want to say, I think the thing I love most about the gospel is how focused and centered on Christ it is. How, when you think about the gospel, it really is focusing on Christ's life and his example. And the entire gospel is focused on preparing for his coming, for his life, and then his life here on earth, and then his atonement and sacrifice for all of us, and then how he lives still today, and everything after his sacrifice and atonement, and preparing for his second coming. And I think that's so incredible that the gospel is centered on Christ, which is a big thing for me, because that shows me exactly where I should be, what my life should be, is centered on Christ, because that's what the gospel is, and the gospel is what I believe. The gospel of Jesus Christ is what I believe, and so that's where I really want my focus in my life to be centered. The next question is, what's your favorite food? Just a nice simple question. My taste buds might be a little biased right now because these days I have my cravings and things of specific foods that I'm loving more, but my whole life, I've always loved desserts. So I'm a cookies, cake, brownie, pie, like anything bakery wise, dessert kind of person. I have such a big sweet tooth. Food wise, I was thinking of just like some maybe meals I like. I really love a good roast dinner where you have the roast and the potatoes and the carrots or the corn, or just a good yummy hearty roast dinner, which my family always would have roast on Sundays, and so I feel like I think of it as a Sunday dinner, which is like Sunday is the relaxed day, or the day that we just would relax and just have a break from everything else in the world. And so I think I just kind of associate that dinner with the feeling of relaxing and not having all these to-dos, but just being at peace and having a good peaceful day with family. So maybe that's why I love roast so much. But then I was also thinking there's some other specific things that I really love. I love tapioca pudding when I just have tapioca with the mandarin oranges. My dad would make that for me every year on my birthday for so many years because I've always loved it. I also just really love a good burrito or like tacos, and I really love like spaghetti. If I'm really being honest, I'm thinking about all these foods that I'm listing, and these are all foods that I would have a lot growing up. So maybe it's all nostalgic for me. Maybe it's all a thing of, I love these foods because it's nostalgic, because these are literally all foods I would have like weekly growing up almost. And so there you go. My favorite foods is because I love the nostalgicness of my childhood. What's my favorite song? My favorite song my whole life, ever since I was a little tiny girl, is Swing Swing by All American Rejects. I love this song. I have like danced to this song ever since I was a tiny little girl. I know all the words by heart, and I have since I was a tiny little girl. Like, it's just, that song is just the song for me. And then a little bonus, a bunch of songs that I really love are all of the songs from Shrek. I know them all by heart. I can sing them all. In fact, when we would watch Shrek 1, like the first Shrek movie, when we had watched that growing up, I would watch it all the time. And then afterwards, I would sit there through the entire credits and I would dance and sing along with the credits because I love those songs so much. They're just such good songs. I've always loved them. Always will. They will always be on my playlists forever and always. The next question, this is one of my friends, very sweet. She says, not a question, but tell everyone I said to like and subscribe. Haley's telling you all, like and subscribe, so please listen to Haley and do me a favor and like and subscribe. Next question is, where do you want to live after you and Sam are done with college? And a quick little note, I'm done with college. Sam will be done by the end of this year. Sam and I we've talked about this a lot, and this is one area that we both are very equal on, feel the same way about, which I love. That was one of the reasons why I married him. It's one of the reasons why I had such interest in him, because I knew we would be the same way. We both want to travel a lot. We want to live in a lot of places and experience a lot of places. And so we don't have one specific place that we want to settle down and live in for the rest of our lives. We want to go places. We want to maybe live somewhere for a few years and then move somewhere else and live there for a few years and move somewhere else, and just not really stick around to the places we want to go to for maybe 3 or 4 years and then move. Just because we really want that life. Sam honestly lived that lifestyle growing up his whole life. He was moving every few years, and he genuinely loved it because he experienced so much. And I, on the other hand, lived in the same small town my entire childhood, life growing up, until the point I moved to Idaho, where I am now. But then even that's only 2 hours away from my small town. So I have not actually gotten out and lived somewhere else yet. And I'm so excited to spend a lot of years of my life living in multiple places. And that's just what I've always wanted to do my whole life. I've always wanted to travel and experience places. So that's kind of our thought process with where we go, where we're gonna move. And then the final question I have that I'll answer today is, what has been your favorite date night or date night recommendations? So I just wrote a list of a few date night recommendations that Sam and I have done that I absolutely loved and he really loved, had fun with, and that we've done multiple times because we love these date nights. And so these are all free or cheap date nights as well, because we like to save our money. We like to make wise money choices, and there's a lot of fun dates you can do where you're not spending a lot of money on. So some free and cheap date night ideas that you can do pretty much anywhere. I mean, this is more focused on what we've done here in Idaho, but it's stuff you can do in other places too. One of them is a picnic. If you just pack up a lunch or a dinner that you make together and take it out, lay a blanket out in some pretty nature area or some pretty place out in nature, or somewhere with a beautiful view, maybe sit and watch the sunset, just talk and have a good time talking with your significant other, and enjoy eating food and relaxing and just enjoying the sunshine and the warmth. Love doing that, a picnic. Another thing similar is a campfire. Sam and I love to go just somewhere, whether we like to go camping for a weekend, but obviously this is a date night thing, so sometimes we like to go just out to some campsite that's nearby, somewhere close by, and have a campfire, roast hot dogs and marshmallows, and maybe we'll make it a bigger date where we'll go earlier, we'll play in the lake or river at that area, and then we'll go back to the campsite area, have a campfire, and then go home later that evening. Or maybe it'll just be an evening campfire dinner date where we go have the campfire, do the s'mores and everything. And then another thing I have is painting. Sam is such a good artist. He's really talented, and I just love to have fun being creative. He's really creative and loves that. But we both enjoy getting creative with our hands, and so something we like to do a lot is just different little art project things. Like we like to go, like we'll just buy cheap at the dollar store, the cheap little painting canvases and just some dollar paints, and we like to paint different paintings. Or one time we went to the DI or just a thrift store and bought a super cheap painting. Each bought a super cheap painting and then painted over it, like added our own little details to them. We've also done little clay creations where we've made clay stuff together, but just different art things, just having fun with your hands, getting creative. It usually ends in a lot of laughter because we're doing something and I'm not very talented and it's pretty fun. And then another thing I have as an idea is building a fort and then maybe having a movie in the fort or something. Whether it's winter and going outside and building a fort just for fun and then having hot cocoa or something, or if it's, well, any time of year and you want to build a fort in your house. Sam and I love to build a fort in our living room and then set up our smaller TV or our laptop and just watch a show in the fort with our laptop with some yummy treats or snacks. Maybe we'll go get the dollar snacks at the dollar store or something. But yeah, that's something really fun that we love to do. Just getting a little goofy, being children again. And then another one I think is fun is going to like a local market, like maybe a farmer's market or a flea market or something, going around looking at the fun stuff, the fun vendors that are there, maybe getting dinner there if there's like food trucks or something, or yummy food there, or not even a market or something like a fair too, going to the fair and doing this. And then afterwards, not making that your whole date, but then afterwards going stargazing. We think that's so fun. We've done that with other couples too before, which is really fun. Just a cute little date. But yeah, these are all my questions that you guys sent in. Thank you so much for sending in your questions and just for your support here on my channel and on my Instagram and everywhere else. I really appreciate it. I love the group of people that I am involved with, that I interact with on social media. You guys are just awesome people, super fun, make life fun. So thank you so much for being here, for supporting me. Like my friend said earlier, like and subscribe to my channel, like this post, or like this video. And yeah, I hope you have a fantastic day, and I hope my answers to your questions helped in the way you were hoping, or just helped you get to know me a little more, if anything else. So have a fantastic day. Bye!